Now, fans that either sold their tickets or whatever, all of a sudden an emphasis is starting to get thrown onto the tickets where people believe she will be playing. And that's starting to make the ticket prices go up, and up.
Fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't going to be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs.
Imagine a sports league suddenly gripped by an economic phenomenon so volatile, it would make Wall Street traders break out in a cold sweat. One moment, tickets are selling for dozens, even hundreds of dollars, snapped up faster than a championship. Ring at an auction. The next, those same seats are practically being given away for the price of a gumball, leaving vast swaths of empty plastic in once-packed arenas. But then, as if by some inexplicable sorcery, the prices rocket back into the stratosphere, smashing records, forcing fans to consider auctioning off minor organs just for a glimpse of the court. This isn't a fever dream, it's the bewildering, head-spinning reality unfolding in the WNBA, driven by an almost supernatural force. What kind of player, what kind of star, possesses such an earth-shattering gravitational pull that their mere presence, or even their rumored absence, can send an entire market into a chaotic spiral, inspiring both unprecedented adoration and baffling resistance? The answer unequivocally lies with one name: Caitlin Clark.
Don't hate the player, hate the game she got, because she's really talented, especially for being bafflingly, She's like the Stephen Curry of WNBA with the threes and stuff. Like, proven fact is, like, they had a game on June 7th scheduled, it was going to be Angel Reese's team, which plays for Chicago, and then for Caitlin Clark's team. They were supposed to go up there playing Chicago on June 7th. First, the ticket sales were at $76 a ticket. Then after they found out Caitlin Clark's not playing that game, she got injured, sales dropped to $25 a ticket.
This isn't merely a statistical anomaly or a marginal increase in interest. It's a complete, undeniable revolution, fundamentally reshaping the financial landscape of professional women's basketball. To truly grasp the magnitude of this seismic shift, consider the Indiana Fever's game against the Mystics just a few nights ago. Before the bombshell dropped that Caitlin Clark was sidelined due to injury, the most affordable ticket you could snag was a respectable $41, a fair price for professional sports, right? But then the news hit the wires, sending shockwaves through the league. Clark was out, and in an instant, the market reacted with brutal efficiency. That $41 ticket, once a symbol of baseline demand, plummeted to an astonishing, almost unbelievable $3. $3. This wasn't a dip, it was a nosedive, representing a staggering 70% collapse in sales, all directly attributable to the absence of a single player. And this jaw-dropping phenomenon wasn't an isolated incident, a mere fluke in the unpredictable world of sports economics. The much-hyped June 7th clash between Clark's Fever and Angel Reese's Chicago Sky, a game so monumental it was relocated to the massive United Center to accommodate anticipated crowds, initially saw tickets flying off the digital shelves. For $86, yet the moment Clark's injury was confirmed, the demand evaporated, and those coveted tickets crashed to a meager $25. This isn't just an effect. It's the Clarkconomics phenomenon, a chillingly precise and undeniable equation linking her physical presence to the financial vitality of entire franchises and, by extension, the league itself.
Fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't going to be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs. You can argue all you want if she's the best player in the league, but you absolutely cannot argue if she's the most important, because she is. She is more valuable than all the other players combined, and that is just a fact.
Beyond the bewildering fluctuations of ticket prices, Caitlin Clark's influence radiates across every measurable metric, transforming the WNBA into an absolute goldmine. She isn't just a star, she is, without hyperbole, the league's absolute golden goose, the golden ticket, the pot of gold gleaming brightly at the end of the rainbow. Her arrival has single-handedly propelled professional women's basketball from a niche passion project into a bona fide national obsession, a regular fixture in mainstream sports conversations. The numbers speak for themselves, painting a vivid picture of this unprecedented explosion in popularity. Viewership records are being shattered with an almost casual regularity, drawing millions of curious eyes to games, even those where Clark herself is subjected to relentless, suffocating triple teams at half court. Merchandise sales across the entire league have not just increased, they've exploded, up a mind-boggling 1,093%. Her team, the Indiana Fever, once struggling to fill seats, now plays to sold-out arenas night after night, consistently drawing over 17,000 raucous fans to their home games, creating an electrifying atmosphere that was unimaginable just a season ago. The immediate aftermath of her draft announcement provided an early glimpse of her gravitational pull. The Fever's ticket office was inundated with over 6,000 phone calls in just 3 days, all from eager fans desperate to secure season tickets. Even the team's beloved mascot, Freddie Fever, experienced the ripple effect, seeing his appearance requests skyrocket by 150%. This isn't simply the story of a talented athlete. It's the saga of a cultural catalyst, a phenomenon that has almost single-handedly dragged the entire WNBA into the blinding glare of the national spotlight, securing coveted national television broadcasts for games that, just a year prior, would have been relegated to obscure streaming services.
WNBA is now suffering a major injury as Caitlin Clark is going to be out for 2 weeks with a quad injury, and the reason we're bringing this up specifically is the Clarkconomics effect to this. Obviously, players miss time all the time, but the Sky and the Fever were supposed to play in Chicago in about a week on June 7th. The opening ticket price was $86 because you have the Angel Reese vs. Caitlin Clark showdown that is now box office. Yeah, those tickets are now down to $25. Down to $25 after the injury announcement. And it's supposed to take place in the Bulls Arena, the United Center, as opposed to the normal Wintrust Arena. That's about a 12,000 seat difference, give or take. So
it's a support system. That shouldn't change. I think, Caitlin knows that she has ears and eyes in the locker room, and the support that she has behind, whether it's us or anybody else. I would like to think that she knows it's there, and to really take her time and make sure that she's, well enough to be who she needs to be for us, because I want the 100% Caitlin, so I'll take it.
Yet, even as the league basks in this unprecedented glow of attention and financial prosperity, a strange, deeply unsettling undercurrent of resistance has emerged from within its very ranks. It's a palpable meltdown energy that emanates from certain WNBA veterans, a bizarre refusal to acknowledge the rising tide that is lifting all boats. They appear to have conveniently misplaced the most fundamental economic memo. A bigger audience translates directly into more money for everyone, increased salaries, more lucrative endorsement deals, greater media exposure for the entire sport. But instead of wholeheartedly embracing this collective windfall, there's a disheartening pattern of side eyes, thinly veiled passive-aggressive social media posts, and deliberate body checks on the court, coupled with condescending public statements about rookies needing to earn it. It's as if some players would rather endure the humiliation of defending a fast break with no shoes on than publicly admit that Caitlin Clark is the singular reason their next game is enjoying primetime national television coverage. This isn't a healthy form of competition, it's an elevator, a golden opportunity for every player, every coach, every franchise, and indeed the entire league to ascend to new heights of prominence and financial security. But instead of gratefully stepping aboard and riding that elevator up, a few seem inexplicably intent on trying to cut the cables, more concerned with acting as self-appointed league gatekeepers than embracing their roles as game changers. The irony is as thick as a full court press. They are resisting the very force that is making them richer, more visible, and more relevant than ever before.
Turns out she's human after all, Dan. She's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, it appears.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about Caitlin Clark? Remember last year, she played in the Final Four. Right after that, she went immediately to the WNBA. Draft came, season started. and, didn't miss a beat. And all of a sudden, she got a little rest and comes back, gets a little banged up. I heard you talking about it earlier, and it's going to be fascinating to me, Ricky. I've been to Fever games, and the one thing you notice, and this is more so than even when Peyton Manning was the quarterback of the Colts.
A word to describe Caitlin Clark.
Amazing.
Yes.
A beast. She is the truth. She's the truth, and she was a rookie. Knock down the three-pointer, get to the rim. She can get to the free throw line. She's crafty.
Yeah, very crafty.
Crafty, so sometimes she look like she's coming off for a three-point shot and she backdoors you for a layup. She gets her teammates involved. She can pass, she can shoot. Man, she is the complete.
Perhaps the most bewildering and frustrating aspect of this entire narrative emanates directly from the very top. Enter Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner of the WNBA, who has embarked on a bizarre, self-congratulatory parade, acting as though she personally, single-handedly slam dunked the league into its current state of mainstream relevance. She's out there delivering PowerPoint presentations titled How I Saved the WNBA, penning articles that read like they were written by Kathy, about Kathy, for Kathy, meticulously detailing her 3 pillars strategy for growth. Her public statements are laced with self-aggrandizing phrases like strategic growth initiatives, as if she were Steve Jobs unveiling the WNBA iPhone. But let's be brutally honest, and without an ounce of pretense, Kathy Engelbert didn't drop 40 points on South Carolina in the Final Four. She did not set college basketball viewership records that dwarf men's games. She did not trigger a national merchandise explosion that saw jersey sales skyrocket over 1,000%, and she certainly didn't make millions of casual sports fans, many of whom had never watched women's basketball before, suddenly understand what a dribble handoff is. The stark, unvarnished truth is this: if Caitlin Clark decided tomorrow morning that she was done with basketball, the league would backslide into relative obscurity faster than a player slipping on a buttered court. This isn't a meticulously executed strategic growth initiative or a team-building exercise. It's a full-blown cultural quake, a seismic event that has reshaped the landscape. The commissioner is merely fortunate enough to be clinging to the rim while the entire structure is shaking violently, yet she persists in treating Clark as little more than a background dancer in her own self-serving, self-promotional tour.
How crazy was this season versus the seasons past?
Our jersey sales were up 1,193%. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and we're thrilled about it. But it brought visibility to the whole team of the Fever and to the WNBA. But if we just want to keep it in Indiana, we look at ticket sales sold out every night, over 17,000 fans in our games at home. When Caitlin announced that she was coming out into the draft on a Thursday afternoon, from that time to Sunday night, we had over 6,000 phone calls, people wanting to buy season tickets. But even something as simple as our terrific mascot, Freddie Fever, his appearance requests went up 150% this season. So you're talking about the Fever, the team, which is what we've been working on,
Shame on you. Kathy Engelbert pens this beautiful article written by Kathy, about Kathy, for Kathy, explaining why she is solely responsible for the boom of the WNBA. Folks, I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. The commissioner of the WNBA on transferring the league ahead of a breakout season. And what was that plan that Kathy Engelbert put in place? Working in partnership with my new WNBA team members, NBA colleagues, and WNBA owners, we developed a strategy with 3 pillars. The league would think player first.
And the sheer audacity, the bewildering lack of foresight doesn't end with the commissioner's public relations campaign. Despite Clark being the undisputed, invaluable golden goose of the league, the organization astonishingly appears to be doing little to protect its most precious investment. Game after game, she is being clobbered, subjected to a barrage of physical abuse that often goes uncalled. She's tackled like she's wandered onto an NFL scrimmage field, drawing more blatant fouls than a chicken nugget served in a vegan cafe. And the referees? They frequently stand by, seemingly paralyzed, watching the chaos unfold as if they're officiating Mad Max Fury Court. This is the WNBA's equivalent of LeBron James, of Serena Williams, of Steph Curry, a generational, transformative talent who is single-handedly driving an economic resurrection for the entire sport. You would logically expect the league to be on DEFCON 1, implementing every conceivable measure to ensure their golden ticket isn't limping into press conferences with ice packs metaphorically stapled to her soul. Instead of meticulously building the Caitlin Clark cinematic universe, a franchise that could elevate the entire league for decades to come, they seem inexplicably content to test the precise limits of how much physical abuse she can absorb before she inevitably transforms into a walking insurance claim. This isn't just poor officiating, it's a catastrophic failure of basic business acumen, a dereliction of duty in protecting the very player who is single-handedly generating their newfound prosperity. What truly elevates Caitlin Clark to a plane beyond any other athlete in the WNBA, what sets her apart from even the most formidable and celebrated stars in the league is her innate, almost mystical cultural velocity. It's that exceedingly rare, almost unteachable quality, that incandescent lightning in a Gatorade bottle that only a handful of athletes in history, names like Serena Williams or Tiger Woods, have ever possessed. She doesn't just play basketball. She ignites entire sprawling cultural conversations that reverberate far beyond the confines of the hardwood court. Her every move, every shot, even her mistakes instantly become national trending topics. When she takes a charge, Twitter erupts in a frenzy of debate and analysis. When she gets hip-checked, it sparks an immediate, passionate discussion across sports radio waves. This profound, undeniable power isn't something she actively sought or demanded. It's a force she earned through sheer, undeniable talent and an authentic, captivating presence. She didn't merely arrive on the scene, she ignited an entire ecosystem, creating a genuine non-game phenomenon where fans flock to arenas even when she's not suiting up, driven by the faint, tantalizing hope that she might make a brief appearance. She is, without a doubt, the single best sales pitch the league has had since its inception. A rookie who carries approximately $50 million worth of market influence circling her like a perfectly executed pick and roll. She has captivated an audience that transcends traditional WNBA fandom, drawing in new demographics and turning casual observers into ardent followers, all because of her undeniable star power.
Yes, man, you guys heard me correctly. None other than Kathy Engelbert is singing a different tune this season about Caitlin Clark. Now, we know last year she was talking about all of the other rookies being included in this, making a difference, being able to help contribute to the Big Bang of the WNBA. This time around, she's owing it all to Caitlin Clark. Me personally, I told y'all this at the beginning of the month. The chickens was coming home to roost for the WNBA, because I'm telling you right now, there has been a lot of spooky things going on and people is tired of it.
But Kathy Engelbert, in her naivete or in her delusion, she takes credit for it. Instead of saying it's because of Caitlin Clark, instead of saying it's because of the person from Iowa, instead of saying it was because of her, Kathy says, oh, it's all me. My strategy, my plan, my 3 pillars. In this entire article, Kathy Engelbert mentions Caitlin Clark's name 2, maybe 3 times. Angel Reese's name once. Cameron Brigg's name once. Let's get right into it, because this article, from start to finish, is disgusting.
The WNBA stands at a precipice, facing an undeniable, unavoidable truth. Caitlin Clark did not break the league, rather her arrival served as a powerful, undeniable reminder of just how much bigger, how much more impactful it could truly become. Her absence from a single game now registers as more profoundly noticeable than the entire starting lineup of many home teams, and her presence transforms every single contest into a national television event, a cultural touchstone. This precise moment in time, infused with her electrifying energy, could easily be remembered as a golden era for women's professional sports, a revolutionary period of unprecedented growth and visibility, if only collective egos weren't so fiercely determined to play a suffocating full-court press on progress itself. The choice facing the league is stark, clear, and without ambiguity. They can either wholeheartedly embrace the unprecedented cultural and economic tidal wave that Clark has unleashed, actively protect their most valuable and irreplaceable asset, and ride the colossal wave of momentum she has single-handedly created. Or they can continue to resist, to perpetuate the baffling internal conflicts, and ultimately get left behind in transition, watching as the unprecedented boom of the WNBA tragically backslides into obscurity, all because they stubbornly refused to acknowledge the undeniable truth staring them directly in the face, the truth that will define this era for generations to come.